You work hard, you pay your bills, you are kind to everyone, yet it feels like the universe does not deliver the life you dream. You keep promises, you arrive early, you give extra effort, but it seems that the future you seek is always moving away. I know that feeling. This is not failure. This can be your frequency out of tune with your intention. I speak to you as someone who really knows how heavy this feels. What if I told you there is a pattern behind that delay? I know the despair of watching chances pass and fearing you missed your moment. I know the shame of doing everything right, yet believing nothing will change. Stay with me, because today I will share with you something that was really helpful to me years and years ago. I will share a message that offers a clear map to change this feeling. Something that, when truly believed, can have the power to absolutely change your life. So I ask kindly, if this message resonates with you, and you want to always receive powerful messages like the one you are about to hear, I invite you to join our community by subscribing to our channel. Now, if you are prepared, let us enter the quantum zone together. You have reached a season where effort does not move the needle, and that is terrifying. You push, you plan, you do more, yet the world replies with silence, and the silence feels like judgment. Your system is not failing, your system is reorganizing. Think of a radio before it locks onto a station. Between the static, there is a faint melody asking for a small turn of the dial. When your life feels quiet, that faint melody is present, and your attention is the dial. Recalibration means your inner map is rewriting itself to match a truer direction. What looks like loss of drive is often the shedding of a costume that has grown too tight. If you stand inside that space and listen, you can hear the outline of a new identity taking shape. Physicists describe superposition as many possibilities existing at once before one path becomes real through observation and choice. In human terms, your day may feel undecided, but your awareness can choose which potential to feed. The quiet signal is the moment before the choice, when old habits loosen and new pathways become available. Deliberate rest and slow breathing support the formation of new neural connections. The brain needs room to wire a different pattern, and room often arrives disguised as stillness. The previous identity needed constant proof, while the emerging identity values coherence over noise. It may feel unfamiliar, which is why many people try to refill the silence with more tasks. You do not need more tasks, you need accurate listening. What feels quietly right, even if it is not loud or impressive today? That answer is usually small, practical, and close by. Follow it for 1 hour, and you amplify the faint station into a clear song. If you resist it, the static returns, and you interpret the static as failure. You are not failing. You are learning to receive information at a subtler volume. Let me offer a story so you can see yourself more clearly. There was a woman who ran every day because running proved she was worthy of success. One winter, an injury forced her to stop. The first week felt like a collapse. The second week felt like betrayal by the universe. The third week, she noticed the rhythm of her breath during a slow walk around her block. In that walk, she realized that her desire was not to run fast, but to move honestly with her body. She began to choose pace over speed, presence over performance, and listening over pushing. Within a month, her decisions at work changed, and the right project found her without strain. She slowed her nervous system so it could tune to a new signal. That tuning changed her choices, and her choices changed her outcomes. Now consider your own season. Where have you equated silence with punishment? Where have you confused emptiness with meaninglessness? The quiet signal invites you to update those conclusions. This does not mean you abandon discipline. It means you retire the version of discipline that was built around fear. The old identity depended on urgency because urgency created a sense of safety. The new identity depends on coherence because coherence creates a sense of truth. Here is a micro practice rooted in neuroscience. Sit upright and place one hand on your abdomen and one hand on your chest. Inhale through your nose while you slowly count to 4. Hold for a gentle count of 4. Exhale through your nose for a slow count of 6. Repeat for 5 cycles while keeping a soft gaze at a fixed point in the room. Notice the sensation of hands rising and falling, and let the exhale be slightly longer than the inhale. This pattern signals safety to the nervous system and invites the prefrontal regions to re-engage. As your state slows, keep a question in mind. What feels quietly right to do next for 15 minutes? Choose that one action and complete it without multitasking. Simplicity is not smallness. As you repeat this, your inner timing begins to match the outer moments that matter. You will feel fewer spikes of doubt and fewer dips of collapse. You will not need dramatic signs because you will trust the subtler ones. This is how recalibration looks from the inside. This is the invitation of the quiet signal. Listen with accuracy. Move honestly. Watch how the world starts meeting you halfway. There is a deeper layer beneath the quiet signal you have begun to hear. When the silence persists, the issue is rarely a lack of effort. It is a mismatch between the speed of your inner change and the structure of your outer life. Your acceleration is asking for new conditions, while your calendar still serves an older identity. Friction grows because two realities attempt to occupy the same space. In physics, decoherence describes how delicate states collapse when they meet a noisy environment. In life, decoherence feels like confusion, fatigue, and mixed results. The signal is not saying that you are broken. It is saying your context must be updated to match who you are becoming. Relaxation often points toward alignment, while tension often points toward outdated arrangements. Much of your daily structure was built to solve past fears. You worked long hours to escape uncertainty. You kept objects, routines, and roles that once protected you. Now those protections create drag, and the drag is information. What you call breakdown is often density leaving your field. Old agreements release, and space opens for cleaner movement. The question is whether you will restore what your future cannot carry. Release over repair becomes a clear guide. Some things are complete without being wrong. Some bridges are meant to be crossed and left behind. Imagine a musician trying to perform two pieces at once. Each piece is beautiful on its own. Played together, the notes collide, and the audience hears conflict instead of music. Your emerging life and your previous life can be beautiful on their own. You feel stuck, not because you are weak, but because you are loyal to both scores. This is the moment to choose the boat that brings relief and alignment. Relief does not mean avoidance. Relief means the nervous system recognizes coherence and softens. Relief honors truthful direction. Coherence frees attention to flow into meaningful action. Let us return to the woman from the first chapter. After weeks of listening, she saw that her schedule honored urgency rather than impact. She felt small spikes of dread every Sunday night. She also felt a steady ease when she mentored junior colleagues. The ease was the signal. She requested a shift that placed mentorship at the center of her role. She held her ground kindly and clearly. Within 2 months, the team delivered better results with less burnout. She had tuned her environment to the frequency of who she was becoming. If you pause, you can identify your own mismatch right now. Where do you feel relief that you dismiss because it looks less impressive? Where do you feel tension that you justify because it looks successful? Place those answers side by side. Tension points to what is ending. Relief points to what is emerging. Here is an embodied practice to translate insight into action. Take a sheet of paper and draw a line down the center. On the left, write the phrase, "This is complete." List the tasks, roles, and habits that create chronic tension. On the right, write the phrase, "This is emerging." List the activities, environments, and relationships that create steady relief. Place 1 star next to the single item that feels most alive. Now return attention to your body. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Exhale through your nose for a count of 6. Then take one aligned action within the next 24 hours connected to the starred item. Aligned action might be a request, a boundary, a conversation, a calendar change, or a purchase that simplifies a process. Remove one object from your space that belongs to the old timeline. Remove one task from your list that exists only to defend an old identity. Remove or reschedule one conversation that keeps you in a pattern you have outgrown. These simple edits reduce noise so your new signal can stabilize. When you live in a space that reflects your direction, your attention stops fighting your environment. Opportunities that match your coherence can find you because there is room for them to land. You are not waiting anymore. You are participating. This is how frequency mismatch resolves. You update the score you are playing. You choose one piece of music and play it with your whole heart. Your days keep swinging between hope and doubt, and it hurts. This swing is not failure. This swing is a message. Evidence trains the body to trust, being more than it trusts the drama of wanting. But what about goals that feel far away? Being does not deny distance. Being invites one signal repeated at every mile. If the outcome is a book, the being action is one paragraph today. If the outcome is healing, the being action is one supportive choice today. If the outcome is a relationship, the being action is one clear conversation today. This ends the trance of later. It installs a rhythm where you move first because that is who you are. Mara practiced this micro-practice for 3 weeks. Felt bright, some days felt dull. Every day she completed one honest action. By the 2nd week, she received an introduction and a speaking invitation. Soon after, a contract arrived ready to sign. Result did not come because she begged more skillfully. Result came because she broadcast being with consistency. When you practice being, you reduce the friction that scatters your signal. You become easy to find. You become easy to help. You become easy to say yes to. This is the exit from the wanting trap. This is the entrance to the being state. Choose one honest action in the next 5 minutes and watch how the world begins to reorganize around who you are. There is a deeper layer after the trap, and it begins when the day begins. Morning is the first measurement of your identity, and the way you start sets the signal the field will mirror. Many people wake into pressure, and the mind chases tasks before the body finds center. If you really stop to think, this rush teaches your nervous system to search for what is missing. The protocol below makes the morning simple and repeatable, and it turns noise into one clear broadcast that says, I am already the one who has. Think of a musician who tunes before a performance. If the first note is clean, every song that follows carries that clarity. This protocol tunes your state so that being leads action. Step 1 is to wake and sit up with a straight spine and place both feet on the ground. Choose to pause before you touch any device. Place one hand over the heart and one hand on the belly. Inhale through the nose for 4 slow counts and exhale through the nose for 6 slow counts. During the exhale, soften the jaw and release the shoulders. Repeat for 3 gentle cycles. This calms the body, increases heart rate variability, and restores leadership to the networks that direct focus and choice. Simplicity gives your brain and heart a single instruction to follow. Step 2 is proof breathing. On the next inhale, bring to mind one real moment of gratitude from the last day. Hold the feeling for the length of the inhale. On the exhale, speak silently. It is already real, safe to receive it. 5 cycles at an easy pace. This lengthens the exhale, steadies the heart, and shifts attention from craving to calm readiness. 3 is identity priming. Whisper one line that begins with I am the one who already has, followed by your outcome in simple language. Speak slowly and let the body feel the meaning of each word. This line is not a plea. This line is a clear description of who you are choosing to be. Step 4 is sensory proof. See the outcome as finished and choose one detail you would naturally notice when it is real. It can be the way your shoes sound on a new floor, the light on a document waiting for your signature, or the feeling of a handshake that marks an agreement. Name the single detail aloud and feel it for one breath. Step 5 is the smallest honest action. Ask, as the one who already has this, what is the smallest honest action I can complete within 5 minutes today? Answer, and trust the first calm instruction you notice. Write the action on a card titled Proof and complete that action before you check messages or metrics. Completion is the signal that tells your body that being is real now. There is a deeper layer that anchors the concept to embodiment. Add a 2-minute body wake that suits you. You can perform a roll, a short walk on your street, or a cold water face rinse. Movement clears the residue of refreshes alertness and reinforces the new pattern with sensation. Optional support can follow if you have a few extra minutes. Play a track of gentle tones and keep your eyes soft while you breathe at a relaxed pace. During the track, repeat your identity line once every minute and return to feeling rather than thinking. If thoughts argue, allow them to pass without. The field measures what you hold with steadiness, and steady feeling sends a clearer instruction than constant analysis. Now let us place the protocol inside a morning so you can see yourself in it. Mara wanted clarity without pressure, and her old routine was a maze of steps. She would read, journal, review lists, and still feel behind. She replaced the maze with the protocol you just learned. She sat up, breathed 4 and 6, and felt the jaw soften. She repeated 5 proof breaths and whispered her identity line. She saw a single detail, the subject line of a message that confirmed approval. Then she chose the smallest honest action, which was to send a 2-sentence proposal to the person she had been avoiding. She walked to the window for a slow spinal roll and felt her feet on the floor. The whole process took under 10 minutes and her mind was quiet. By the second week, the proposal had become a meeting, and the meeting became a signed agreement. Change did not come from more effort. Change came from a consistent morning signal that reality could recognize and mirror. You can begin tomorrow and treat it as an experiment rather than a test. Set your alarm 10 minutes earlier and promise yourself to finish the protocol before touching a device. Keep the steps on a card beside your bed during the... Let each morning be one clean note that tunes the day to the already frequency. As we move forward, we will explore how to stay in this frequency through detachment and emotional neutrality, so the signal remains clear when the world is loud. You have felt the relief of simplicity, and now the task is to keep that frequency through the day. Detachment means you no longer let the scoreboard decide your state while you keep acting as the one who already has. Emotional neutrality means you allow feeling to move without giving it the steering wheel. Have you noticed how one delay can pull you back into grasping? If you really stop to think, the grasping itself is the interference that scatters your signal, but there is a deeper layer. The old identity learned that struggle creates safety and that proof gives permission. That identity urges you to chase because chasing feels familiar. Your work is to hold frequency while reality organizes around you. Think of a thermostat. Weather can swing from cold to hot, yet the thermostat holds the chosen setting and the system adjusts. Detachment is that steady setting. Neutrality is the calm that keeps the system from overcorrecting. Now, Mara had a meeting cancelled an hour before it began. Her chest tightened and the wanting trap whispered that nothing was moving. Old identity drove her to draft several messages and to search for new tactics. She stopped and used a simple anchor, and the day returned to frequency. Use the same anchor when you feel pulled. Sit or stand with a straight spine and soften your shoulders. Place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. Inhale for 4 counts and exhale for 6 counts. On the exhale, label the trigger in plain words. Say, the meeting was cancelled. Say, the message did not arrive. Labeling reduces alarm and restores clear choice. On the next inhale, widen your visual field to include the space behind you. This open focus slows tunnel attention and reduces the value you assign to the trigger. On the exhale, speak one line silently. I am the one who already has, and I keep my setting. Now choose the smallest honest action that expresses your setting without chasing. Send one calm confirmation of your next availability. Refine one paragraph that matters. Prepare one item you would naturally have ready when the outcome is real. Complete the action before you check for replies. You have just practiced detachment in motion. You did not ignore reality. You refused to let metrics set your mood. People feel that steadiness, and steadiness. Trust invites doors to open. Protect the simple plan. Creative then cues that catch familiar triggers. If the mind starts worst-case pictures, then I take 3 slow breaths and name 2 objects I can see. If the inbox is quiet after an important message, then I complete one proof action before refreshing anything. If a conversation stirs doubt, then I touch the chair with both hands and speak one sentence that begins with, I am the one who has. Use this plan and watch how fast you return to center.